Hello and welcome to everybody who is competing in the TMI Top Trader Scholarship Competition. We're excited to see who ends up winning this competition and what kinds of strategies are used in order to get there. But we think that it's important that everybody review our game rules and make sure they're familiar with how to go from the very beginning of this competition to what will be the very end of this competition in a successful and problem-free way. We're going to go through the game rules that are shared with everybody in the competition, section by section, one by one, and give an explanation for the rules so that those who might be unfamiliar with the reasoning for the rules or just unfamiliar with what the implications of those rules are will get to be more familiar and more comfortable with what we're doing. So first, starting off with time frame. The competition will start, as it already has, on September 28th. And it will last through November 20th of 2020. You're able to join the competition anytime within that time frame. The requirements to compete are very simple. There are no costs to compete in the competition, but you must do the following. First, you must, if you are not already, register to be a member of Trading Markets and Investment. If you're not currently a member, you can do so by clicking the link shared in that document. Second, you must subscribe to the Trading Markets and Investment at ASU YouTube channel. There's a link to our YouTube channel in this document as well. And third, you must follow our Instagram page at TMI at ASU, where we'll be giving frequent updates, matter of fact, daily updates of the competition, and we'll be announcing some important information on that platform as well. Now, of course, there are some complexities here. There are some students who don't have an Instagram. They're not interested in ever having an Instagram. You may have your own concerns, privacy concerns, just lack of interest, whatever. But if you don't have an Instagram and are not interested in making an Instagram account, you can ask for an exception, but you must email us at learn@tmiprograms.com in order to explain your reasoning for that exception. Part C is the Investopedia game settings and rules explained, and this is the part that we really would like people to pay attention to, because this is where most of the confusion that likely is going to happen can easily be avoided if you listen to these rules and become familiar with the reasoning for them. Now, as we've already stated, the competition will occur through 11/20/2020, as indicated on the Investopedia simulator game rules as well. You can join at any point up to that point, but you are expected to make at least 15 trades through November 20th. So obviously joining later in the game, not only for the purpose of competing against those who have joined earlier and are making frequent and consistent trades and growing the profitability of their account, joining early is a good thing, but for the purpose of getting these 15 trades in, you should join as soon as possible. The reason that we require 15 trades is because we're not interested in identifying the single best trade that a person can make. This could mostly be attributed to luck rather than really strong technical or strategic analysis of trades. If we increase the sample size of the number of trades that you're required to make in order to even be considered for the final round, we're going to see more trades, and therefore we're going to be able to identify more consistent traders who have stronger strategies. Now, we're going to move right in to the individual game rules for Investopedia, starting with allow late entry. This has been detailed twice above. The game will last through November 20th. That will be the last day of gameplay. You can join at any point in time up to that point. Allow portfolio history viewing. We do allow you to view other people's historical trades. So in other words, when you're on Investopedia, you'll see a tab right next to the rankings chart of everybody who's competing in the competition that will say trade history. You can click that tab and you can view the trades that people have been making. We do this for educational purposes so that, of course, you can look at your own historical trades, examine those, as well as look at your competitors' historical trades. You can discuss that in our Slack channel and elsewhere, and hopefully glean some insight off of your trades as well as others. Now, this is the same reasoning for allow portfolio viewing. The only difference is this is the history of the trades you have made, and the portfolio viewing are the positions that you currently hold, the trades that you currently have a position on. And of course, we allow you to view those for yourself and for others for the same reasons. Allow portfolio resetting. Now, this is an important one for people to understand. This is a competition. It is a simulation. It is supposed to simulate how trading would happen in real life. Of course, it's not going to be perfect because of things like delayed data feeds and other factors, but we are looking to identify real people who can make really talented, precise, well-analyzed trading decisions. For that reason, of course, you cannot reset your portfolio. This should be intuition to most people, but we would not be surprised to see people who try to reset their account fail to do so and then do something like create a new account and join the competition with that account, or delete their previous account, recreate it, and join the game again. If you unjoin and then join the game, or deregister and then register again for the game, you will not be counted for the competition. You will be eliminated from the competition immediately, and you will no longer be considered for the final round of competition. So in other words, you cannot reset your portfolio in any way. The daily volume rule. Now this rule indicates that trades cannot exceed a certain percentage of the volume for the day, or the volume of trades for any individual security for that day. The default value is set to 10%, which is what we've set it to, and it prevents thinly traded stock from being traded in the simulator when it can't be traded in the actual markets, which allows us to more accurately emulate the real market. The quick sell rule. This rule indicates that you cannot sell a security that you have a position on for at least 15 minutes after you enter that position. So for instance, let's say you place a limit order to buy 20 shares of Apple. Once that trade has been confirmed and you have entered into that position, you must hold that position for at least 15 minutes. So in other words, we do this so that we can prevent cheating from the delayed data feed that Investopedia has. As many of you might not be aware, Investopedia has a 20-minute delayed data feed. For that reason, if you have any discrepancy from when people can buy into trades and sell out of trades, people can look at real-time data and potentially cheat. To prevent this, we have the default value being set to 15 minutes. We also would like to see people executing trading decisions that are based on longer time frames than 35 minutes. So we'd like to see trades that are at least intended for a 35-minute full length of trade. Minimum price rule. So this rule indicates that only securities, stocks, financial instruments that are over $1 are allowed to be traded long, and only securities that are over $5 are allowed to be traded short. So due to the fact that penny stocks are highly prone to manipulation, as well as not being entirely certain about how these erratic trading patterns are going to be handled by the Investopedia simulator, we've decided to play it safe and make it so that you cannot short any penny stock that is less than $5 in value. Diversification rule is a very important one to understand. It means that it's the maximum amount that of your starting capital, as well as your account balance at any given point in time in the game, that you can put into a single position. So the way that we've set this up is that you can only put 20% of your starting cash balance, as well as your cash balance at any point in time, into any stock trade, and you are only allowed to put 10% of your account balance into any option trade. So in other words, if you have $100,000, you can only put up to $10,000 into an options trade, allowing for a maximum of 10 trades at any given point in time with full execution of that 10%, and you can only enter into a full 5 trades of your starting cash balance or account balance into any stock or financial security for a long or short position. We do this because we like to see a greater sample size of trading decisions, and we would prefer not to see individual trades that you decide to do like a Wall Street's bet like scenario on, disproportionately representing your account value at any point in time. Market delay. So as I mentioned earlier, and now hopefully you all are aware of, Investopedia has a 20-minute delayed data feed, meaning that whatever the data is that you see on the simulator on Investopedia, that data is 20 minutes prior to whatever the real-time market data is at this point in time. I understand that might be intuition to many of you, but to many people who are not familiar with trading, that concept might be a little bit above their head. For that reason, it's very important to know that a 20-minute delayed data feed has to be offset because other people who do trade either for recreational purposes, perhaps even professionally, perhaps they've had trading internships, perhaps they compete in or are a member of the Sim Fund at ASU or elsewhere. who are more familiar with real-time data and can find that real-time data as anybody can on TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, Yahoo Finance, elsewhere, offset that so that there's no discrepancy between the delayed data feed and when that market order gets executed. For that reason, though, when you place a trade, your fill time will not happen until 20 minutes after you place that trade. So whatever you're looking at on the Investopedia screen, you will not get filled at that price. You'll get filled 20 minutes after. So in other words, if you're looking at real-time data, which we would encourage people do, when you place your order on Investopedia, whatever the real-time data price is, that's the price that you're going to get filled at or close to it. So this value, 20 minutes, combined with the 15-minute quick sell rule, means that you have to be in a single trade for at least 35 minutes. Option daily volume, just like the daily volume rule set above, except for options and options trades and options contracts. The value for this rule is set to 25%. The minimum price short, as stated above, is $5. The minimum stock for margin, to explain this rule, this is the minimum dollar amount that allows the security to be marginable or trade on margin. And in this game, the value is set to $5. Margin interest and cash interest are both set to 0%. We don't think that those should have a role in influencing the value of a game that's of the account balances in a game that's only going to last for about 2 months. The market commission, as is pretty common amongst a number of trading brokers nowadays like TD Ameritrade, now Charles Schwab, obviously Robinhood, E-Trade, elsewhere, it's set to 0. We set commission limit to 0 as well. Options are set to 99 cents, and the commission per contract on an option is set to $1. Now this is the portion of the video that people who are truly interested in earning the TMI top trader designation, as well as earning any scholarship in this competition, should be interested in. In order to be considered for scholarship, you have to make it into the top 10 of the competition. You have the trading part of the competition, and then you'll have the final round. And the final round no longer requires trading or any kind of execution of trades. So to make the top 10 for the final round of competition, we'll be evaluating 2 criteria. The first is the profitability of your account, and the second is the consistency of the profitability of your account. So obviously profitability is the extent to which you have earned money, and we expect that everybody who's in the top 10 will have earned, the extent to which you have earned or lost, in this case earned, and the consistency of your profitability would be the percentage of your trades that are profitable. Now, this isn't a huge criteria because it's somewhat difficult to evaluate for this competition, but as a rule that will be stated in this video, it isn't explicitly stated here, we will not be interested in inviting anybody to the top 10 who has a trading strategy that succeeds less than 40% of the time. We will attribute that trading strategy to one that is of almost pure speculation, likely is like a Wall Street Bets-like account, and if they happen to have made it to the top 10, we'll inform that user that they are not allowed to compete in the final round and that they will not be given a position in the top 10 for the final round. We don't expect that anybody in the top 10 will be in that kind of a situation, but in order to avoid those kinds of speculative traders who trading firms, hedge funds, wealth management funds are not interested in hiring, as their strategies are not practical for a high-end like trading firm, we're not going to invite those people. We'd like to see more profitable trades. But of course, as stated earlier, you must make at least 15 trades through the period of September 28th to November 20th in order to be considered for the final round. Now, those who do make it to the top 10 and have placed in the top 10 in the simulation game with those criteria will be awarded points for their placement in the following way. First place will receive 10 points, second 9 points, third 8 points, and so on and so forth up until 10th place they will receive 1 point. Now keep in mind that if you place 10th place in this competition, you still have the potential to win the competition. As a matter of fact, it wouldn't be all that difficult. The score will account for 25% or 1/4 of your total score for the competition. The other 75% of your score will be determined by a judging panel. There will be 3 judges. Each obviously will be weighted at 25% of your score, will be responsible for 25% of your final round score. And they will be evaluating a 5 to 10 minute presentation on the trading strategies that you used as a competitor and the reason for those trading decisions. You can also give a description of how you think you can more effectively cater or enhance your trading strategy to be designed for a professional trading firm if you don't think that your trading strategy in its current state is apt or desirable for a professional trading firm. Each judge will rank competitors 1 through 10, and you'll be awarded points in the same way. First place will receive 10 points, last place or 10th place will receive 1 point. We'll combine the total value of those judges out of 10 points, as well as your points that you earned in the trading simulation part of the competition. And combined for those points, the maximum score that a competitor could possibly get is 40 points. That would be perfection across the board. In other words, there is certainly the possibility that those who place in the bottom half of the competition can rise and win this competition and receive one of the scholarships for the top 3 positions. Now, this wraps up this video describing the rules for the TMI Top Trader Scholarship Competition. We're excited to see who makes the top 10, and if anybody has any questions, of course, you can leave it in the comments section down below, or you can email us at learn@tmiprograms.com. Thank you.